I like building beautiful products with fun people to build them for and having an impact on the world in terms of helping these big projects have the best control room furniture. So that's what I get interested by there.
In CTF, we've gone extremely focused, 99% of our work from one product line. And that has been instrumental to our success. We just continue to get better at building that product. The whole team understands the market, product, the tools required in production. And I think that is really, really important. Focus.
Hey guys, welcome in Neologism. I'm really happy to have you guys.
Thank you for having me.
Really impressed about what you have done by the past. And the aim of Neologism is to talk about entrepreneurship, leadership, and also technology. And the great thing with you, it's like you build a company, you do an exit, you build a second company, you do also a teamwork, like a couple. Mm-hmm. So happy to have you, Fred and Geoff. Welcome in Neologism.
Thank you.
So can you introduce yourself, maybe? I think you're the better person to do that. Geoff, please.
Okay, I'm Geoff Warr, from France in England, which will become relevant later. And I'm 34 years old. My birthday is 13/04/1990, which will also become relevant in a second. And I've been in Dubai for 14 years and currently running CTF with Fred.
Great.
Thank you. So Fred Durnford, also been here just a little less than Geoff, so been here 12 years. And why Geoff was saying that is relevant, because I'm also from France. So we have a joke that we only hire people from the same village. So we're actually from the same village in the UK.
You are the only two.
And as you can tell, definitely the more mature of the two. I'm 4 days older than Geoff. So like you said,
great.
We've built one business together. Second business is being built as we speak. And it's been a really good journey so far.
So how did you meet and decided to build the business together? So can you give us the story and the journey?
Yeah.
It was, rather than, I would say it wasn't a decision as such. It was quite an organic journey that's happened this far to date. So we were just best friends growing up. And then my dad actually moved out to Dubai when we were pretty young. So Geoff and I came out to visit him, did an internship with him when we were 16.
Okay.
Loved it. Naively loved it, because at the time an internship was, the most difficult decision was deciding what pizza we were going to buy for lunch that day. So we didn't really get a good grasp of work, but we knew that Dubai was somewhere we wanted to go. Then fast forward a few years, we both left for university. Geoff, I'll let him tell his full story later, but he decided to end his university journey a little bit earlier than me, came out to Dubai. I started doing some work experience for my dad. And then I finished my studies, came out, and it's at that stage that we actually started naturally venturing into business together.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So, I mean, some people just take longer to do university than others.
Yeah.
I did it quicker. Some people do it 1 year, some people do it 4. It's the same
Just
thing.
a question of time.
It's the same thing. Yeah.
I agree with you.
So my biography says that I studied at the University of Aberdeen. It doesn't say I graduated from there, but that's a minor
don't
detail.
put like the end of the university.
No
need.
No. It's never ending. I'm a lifelong learner.
You're learning all the day.
Yeah, exactly.
So you come, and at this time, so it was Orion Tech, huh?
Correct. So what actually happened is, my dad had a business called CMAC.
Okay.
He actually sold that to Schneider Electric, big French company that I'm sure you'll have heard of.
Of course.
And he started then a company called Orion Systems, focused on RFID and wireless technology. Both myself and Geoff joined Orion Systems. We're starting to work both in the sales teams. And then unfortunately what happened is, one, the wireless and RFID market wasn't that mature at the time in the region. And my dad was actually diagnosed with a very aggressive form of cancer. And so he actually passed away within about 2-3 years of me being in Dubai. And so that meant that we were left with a strange decision where he thankfully gifted his shares to me, but the business wasn't performing very well. And so we had to decide what to do with it. So myself and Geoff together came up with a strategy that we were going to focus on the security systems market, because one of our clients, Transguard, big UE company, they weren't interested in working with us on wireless and RFID, but they needed a problem fixed, which was around their cash and transit vehicles.
Okay.
They had some issues with that. They wanted to come up with a new cash and transit security system. So we focused on that. It went really well, and we decided that would be the area of focus for the business. So we had to restructure a business that was losing a lot of money, unfortunately let go of some mainly senior members of the team and then rebuild the company from a wireless and RFID focus into this security systems focus. And that all happened in about 2014, 2015. It was around that time that we refocused the business.
How you do to do like this 360? Okay, we have an issue in this market. We have an opportunity with a customer. Did you know the security industry and the security market?
Not really, but we learned pretty quickly. And also when you're losing close to 5 million dirhams a year, you'll learn very, very quickly.
Yeah.
And so Fred was very smart and worked with the team to get a product together. So we made a product for the cash and transit industry that was better than anything they'd had previously.
Okay, so it give you this growth.
And then we pretty much got exclusivity because it was better than anyone else. No one could catch up. That we got 400 vehicles, which gave a big cash injection to the business. Yeah, 400 vehicles, roughly $10,000 a vehicle. Do the maths. It was a reasonable amount of cash injections to the business. And then Fred's first project actually he won, which was I still remember the splash pad by beach at JBR. And that was, a few cameras.
Six cameras.
First
project, 6 cameras.
6 cameras. But soon we were doing 1,000 cameras. Well, by the end of when we sold around.
So how you do this
one
growth?
project.
Okay, you understand your starting point. How you do the growth? Like, okay, you move from 6 cameras for small customer and...
Our growth was entirely around just proving ourselves. We would go to customers, give us something, however small. Let us show you we can deliver for you.
Okay.
That was the entire business strategy. We had found a direction. We're going to focus on security systems. Then we would look at who are people we want to work with. We'd go and speak with them and just say, give us a chance, however small. We weren't trying to go after, big projects they had. Just give us an opportunity. Let us show you we can deliver, and we know it will go from there. And there's a number of companies that we started on doing 5 cameras for, 6 cameras for. Fast forward 3 years, we're delivering multiple projects of 1,000 cameras for them.
Yeah, because you have this trust about your quality.
They trusted us because we delivered. However small, we treated it like it was 1,000 camera project.
So how you build a company in a domain that you don't really know, like, okay, on the back end, you say, okay, I deliver that. I promise you that I will deliver.
So I think we hired great people. I think one of our skills is that we can find good people and then develop young talent. And the other thing is tried to use our brains. So instead of selling 6 cameras to companies that will only ever buy 6 cameras, we go and sell to companies that would need lots of cameras in future projects, like EMAR, for example. They're going to build lots of buildings. So let's go and target them rather than going and targeting a developer one building.
Yeah, correct.
So then the scope to increase from there was very big. And then once we realized that we'd done this product, we went to oil and gas at the time. And at the time, it wasn't a growth time for oil and gas. It was a falling time. So then we looked at what was growing, airports. And then we started in total, we did 10 airports around the world with, again, another product that linked baggage handling with CCTV. And so it monitored baggage handling systems. And that's in Calgary Airport in Canada. It's in Istanbul Grand Airport in Turkey. It's in Kuwait Airport now. It's in Doha, Abu Dhabi, Dubai. So, and many others. It was as far away as New Zealand. So then these different products, we sort of carved ourselves as a niche from that. And they were much more profitable than normal CCTV jobs. And it also gave people sort of thought leadership. If we can do this, we can do your CCTV project.
Great. So all the time, so you based actually on listening the customer. You find an opportunity, and after you adapt to what you can deliver.
We were customer obsessed. I know Amazon have that as one of their mantras.
Yeah, I know you, and it's simple to say that, okay, we are customer centric, but it's really hard at the same time to listen and to deliver exactly, what is.
Yeah, and you have this challenge as well. But we had to choose something and then try and make a product that as many people as possible could use. We always went very niche with our products and problems, and probably too much so. But at least with airports, we knew that any large airport that had space capacity constraints, because most of our products were designed for Dubai airports, and then sold out from there. But yeah, it was a challenge. But finding good people and pairing ourselves with smart engineers who knew how to build products, and then our skill on sales and marketing to sell those products was a good partnership.
Amazing, guys. Yeah. How was the organization between both of you?
It's always been pretty flat. So we've kind of divided up certain areas of responsibility. I'd say both of us have a strong point in sales and marketing. That's probably both of our strongest points. In Orion, I was more responsible for the operational side of the business and the finance side. Geoff was very much leading the sales, the marketing. In CTF, it's almost flipped. So I am responsible for the sales and still the finance side, but Geoff is the CEO and is running the production and also responsible for treasury, HR in the business as well.
Okay, great. How you built when you are friend, you know, this relationship in entrepreneurship, how you build it? Because is it so easy?
It's not easy, and I think it's incredibly, from what I've seen, I think it's incredibly rare to be able to flip between business and friendship. And we can do that. You know, just on the way in here, we're having completely personal discussion, nothing to do with business. And then 30 seconds later, we're pure business discussion. And we can flip between the two, but I don't think that is a common trait from what I've seen. We're very fortunate to have found the ability to do that. And we'd never really let one spill over into the other.
Yeah, because generally we say like in business, entrepreneurship, we don't associate with your friend. But actually, you're the demonstration of that we can.
Yeah, I think it can ruin friendships, right? So we see a lot of people that ruin friendships. I think the key thing is trust. So no one's going to steal from the business. We're very transparent on all of the finances and all of that sort of stuff. And then everyone is putting their best effort into the business. So we also I think Fred taught me this, to be fair, take a very long-term view on things. I'm more impatient and emotional.
Yeah, you don't want to finish.
No,
correct.
Oh, sorry, what do you mean? Sorry?
You don't want to, like the university, you don't want to finish.
Oh, no. So I take a long-term view on other things.
Yes, I'm making
no, but like if something annoys me, I might bring it up quicker. Whereas Fred would probably be, he's married, so he's got a patience with that sort of thing. So he would probably, take a more long-term view. And if it gets really annoying, he'll bring it up. So I've learned to if something annoys me for a bit, I'll just think, well, and then by the time, a couple of weeks or months later, it doesn't annoy me anymore, or it stopped or whatever, and then it's all fine. So I think overall it's trying to be tolerant and patient with each other, but also both making sure that you're both aligned, you both want the same thing.
This is what is impressive sort of with your couple. Let's call it a couple. Mm-hmm. It's one can do far, the other can do fast, but with the same vision, which is like giving, like the eagle eye view and the land view, which is like really impressive.
But I think we're also both quite competitive. And so if I sell a big deal or Fred sells a big deal, then I'll, say Fred sells a big deal, then like he told, that massive Transgarth thing and G4S and all those others. And I was like, oh, I've got to go and sell a big deal. So then I went out and tried to sell a big deal, And so
that challenge you.
Yeah, we don't specifically say it's a challenge, but we have HubSpot CRM with the charts and everything, and
it's the good things.
Well, it's pretty obvious wherever someone. So if I'm not doing very well, for example, then I'll be very motivated. No one has to tell me anything. I'll be very motivated to want to go ahead and sort it out and change it. Great. Yeah.
So, so to come back to Orion, so you make growth the company, and at the moment you sell it. So can you tell us like how many people you reach, and what was the motivation?
So the motivation predominantly came around through initially a really challenging period during COVID. So so that's how the motivation originally came around. The business had been growing; it was in a really good growth phase, and then we did run into some real challenges during that COVID time because we were very focused on the construction sector at the time. A lot of construction sector projects had challenges with financing. That flows down to the subcontractors on the project. So it was a really tough time for the business. And we thought, as a small business, we should probably look out and see if a larger entity or someone based in the UAE that has more financial capacity would like to join forces with us. We can become part of their organization and we can weather out some of these tough times. So that was the original motivation, to be honest. That's how it came around. And it had been on a great growth cycle. So that's how it came about. And then we reached out to a few contacts, decided to look at who would be interested in the business. Probably went through about 5 or 6 conversations before
you make it alone, or you take like an M&A advisor?
We had an M&A advisor that worked with us. So we hired an M&A advisor, Niall Dodine. He has his own firm, EMAR Industries and Investments, DHL, Nokia. And he was instrumental. He was really, really helpful in terms of allowing us to set up the business so that it looked presentable to
which
investors.
Is really difficult.
Really difficult.
Totally different of the business on day-to-day.
For sure. We had never done it before, so we didn't know what investors would be interested in particular, and he was really helpful in allowing us to kind of showcase the business to its best potential.
How many time it take the process to
whole-
do this operation?
It actually, so we probably, it was less than a year, in fact.
Less than a year.
Less than a year.
It's really fast.
Yeah, it was really fast.
Yeah,
We had a few people that were quite seriously interested, and then we had 2 expressions of interest.
okay.
And the entity we ended up selling to, Eltizam Asset Management Group, the conversation originally started because the CEO at the time, who was a friend, I told him that I was going through this process. He said, I know someone that might be interested in it. And then it actually turned out that they were interested. So
Wow.
yeah, that's how that came
What a good
about.
story.
Yeah,
Great.
that's good.
So okay, so you do this process, you finish it. What happened in your mind to launch a new business?
It was not a new business. The CTF we started in 2016. It was much smaller. It was much smaller, and we
Okay.
rebranded. So
Why you start type of business?
another good question. We didn't have any experience. So we liked starting businesses we have no experience in, and there's actually a good reason for it.
Okay, so you'll have risk, challenge. Okay.
A high tolerance for risk.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, if you don't know how to do the thing that you're doing, you can't do it. And what I mean by that is that if you start a metal fabrication business, for example, or software development business, or an accounting business, and you're not an accountant or software developer or metal fabricator, it means you can't do that. You have to focus on growing the business. And that's really important because a lot of people go and start a business because they know how to cut hair and they're good hairdressers. They go and start a hairdressing business, for example. But that means they don't have any time to focus on building the business, building the brand, getting new customers, all of that, because they're cutting the hair. And so the same with metal fabrication. We found metal fabricators who are really skilled, and we had a friend who helped us out structure the business. And so we then thought, well, let's try and grow this. And we thought we didn't really know how big the metal fabrication business could be, but we knew that it wasn't being done very well here at the time. And we knew that we were buying a lot of metal products in Orion, like poles, brackets for cameras, NPR pedestals, access control reader pedestals, control room furniture, and we were doing camera painting for Axis and Hanwha and people like that. And so we thought, well, we can do that, and we need somewhere to do these vans, because we went to a company. That was sort of the original reason that Fred actually had the idea for, was went to a company to do the vans. We won't say their name, but they didn't do the work. And they went to Thailand on holiday and didn't pay their staff. So we had some ready qualified staff that were now out of contract and weren't being paid. So we hired some of their guys, some of them are still with Orion actually. And then we rented a small little 2,000 square foot factory in DIP, and then started with about 8 people, I think, fabricating these vans, making some camera poles, and very, very small. It was $1 million dirhams in the first year. But that's how CTF.
So it was more around metals and
So it started off as a metal fabricator. It was called IGW, which could mean inert gas welding, or it could mean International Geoff Warr. I'll let you decide which one it was. Fred came up with that line, and he regrets it. And then in 2020, basically after we started a bit, we realized that we both like a book called Good to Great by Jim Collins. And one of the things it says in there is, what can you be the best in the world at, and what drives your economic engine? I'll let Fred continue the rest of that story.
Yes, so we both love this book. I think we've both read it back to front 3 or 4 times. And those are 2 of the fundamentals. What can drive the economic engine in terms of what can actually generate you enough profit to grow the business?
Mm-hmm.
And then what can you truly be the best in the world at? And maybe naively at the time, we thought out of everything we were doing, building camera poles, painting cameras, making fencing, maybe consoles is the thing we could be the best in the world at. And so we decided to focus the entire business on building the best consoles in the world, change the name to CTF, alluding to Geoff. That could mean connected technical furniture. It could mean come to Fred. So, we're keeping that one up. So
everybody will see his version.
Yeah.
And so we decided to focus the business, stop doing everything else overnight. And looking back, that was a great decision to make.
Why the console? How did you do the analysis?
Because we basically looked at poles. We couldn't be the best in the world at them. We could probably make the best poles in the world if we really wanted to, but we couldn't make money doing it because lots of companies in Sharjah or Ajman or other cheaper places to do business. The camera painting is just not enough cameras that need painting.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
But control room furniture, we saw that we had an advantage because we were here. And we saw we had an advantage because
transportation and
freight, all of that. And then we also saw we had an advantage because we had Orion. And so we could normally you can't get any references. If you're here and you try and bring a new product into market, you won't be able to get any references. So we had Orion, we could put it into prestigious products and say to different companies, look, this is a great console. Would you like to try it? We'll design one for you. And so we did that.
Yeah, this is what I really love about your approach. It's like finding the pain point first. Like, okay, how can we solve it? And after, of course, I love the idea, find you one thing and do it better than anyone.
Yeah,
it's
focus is really important. You have to not be blind to opportunities that come along, but focusing on control room furniture, that means all your team get better at building control room furniture, better at installing it, better at designing it. And we, in Orion, we were buying control room furniture as well off other people. And one project took 16 weeks to come. And so that meant
16 weeks.
16 weeks. And that is now a common figure. So 16 to 20 weeks is a common figure that some of our clients tell us that they get now. And that's why they come to CTF. Because in 4 to 6 weeks, it'll be installed, delivered, and made working with warranty and it's got the best references. So why would you not come to that?
Great.
So that's what we were trying to solve, that pain point for Orion. We're like, can't wait 16 weeks. That means we're not going to get paid. We're not going to hand over the project. Disaster.
Yeah,
so
disaster.
We can't turn our money over quick enough. The system integration business is so competitive. You need to be able to do the project, hand it over quickly,
correct,
keep customer happy. And without the control room furniture, you can't hand over the control room. The project can't be tested and commissioned. Sierra can't come and inspect if it's a security project. So we went and thought, well, we'll solve this pain point. We came out with a radical idea, which was 2-week delivery. Bear in mind, everyone else...
2-week delivery?
2-week delivery. Okay. Everyone else talking 16 weeks, 2-week delivery. We then realized, only sort of a lot later, why people do this is that they want to balance their factory, right? They want to have predictable income for a long time, a long runway. If you only have 2 weeks, that means everyone will come to you with a last-minute order.
Yeah, correct.
And so you're in a lot of pain. Anyway, we grew the business like that. Now we're trying to extend our lead time a little bit, 4 to 6 weeks. So people don't come with last-minute orders, basically.
Yeah, also,
and so we could try and balance our factory out. That's how we did it. And so we saw, when we knew we'd hit a nerve, is when we saw one of our competitors saying that they had some stock in Dubai and you didn't even need to wait 2 weeks. So we knew we'd hit a nerve then. But yeah, it radically shaped up the industry. We did beautiful 3D renders for people quickly, and we've just got that better and better. And so that's what being in the right location and then taking the time to build a product. You didn't realize we've been around for 8 years, but even for the last 4 years when we've been focused on control room furniture, coming into our 5th year, 2025, constant innovation and improvement on what would be potentially to some people a simple desk, we think is a beautiful console, has blown people away when they come and visit our factory again and again and see the improvements that we've made.
Yeah,
there.
the improvement, it's just amazing on the company. My first question is you finished the story about Orion, okay? How you keep the motivation to go back, restart something? It was start from 2016, but to do this scale and growth.
So we want to be bigger and better. Fred's got an expensive wife. I had an expensive dog at the time. It's a sort of different things, but
I think
different girlfriend.
Not only a question about money, but this motivation. You like to restart.
But I think actually that's what has motivated us again, because it's a new challenge. It has a link to the same industry.
Okay.
And for sure, without the experience of Orion and system integration, our CTF would not have been nearly as successful as it is, because it gave us a huge amount of contacts in the industry, a huge amount of knowledge of the industry, and that's been really instrumental in the success of CTF. But having this new challenge and having something where a facility where we could see our products being built in front of us and constantly improving these products over time, that has been a huge source of motivation.
So the first stage of the company, you don't saw it as much a problem, but really a source of motivation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think for us, I joined full time in mid 2023. Fred joined full time mid 2024. So by then the business was already reasonably big. And so when I first joined, it was quite frustrating because I was used to dealing with tens of millions or hundreds of millions.
In Champions League, and now you come back, to the UK Championships.
Yeah, exactly. Or League One or League Two.
Yeah.
So
I prefer the UK one.
Yeah, but I mean they have below the Championship, right? So, but no. So we, exactly as Fred said, when you're in a big corporate, even if you're making more money, you still think, it's a bit painful. You have to go and ask for permission. You have to go and click approve or get approval on something, even at director level, executive director level. So to now be able to do things, and the only person you have to really answer to is your fellow shareholder. Quite simple, really. And it is very exciting. You can see results quickly. We've got a great team. We've got 85 people now.
85?
Yeah, including us too. 83 other souls that are helping us with this. And lots of people have been, just signed loads of certificates this morning for their work anniversaries. We've out of that, we've doubled in size in the last year. So we were 35. So it's more than 50 people joined in the last year. And so we're trying to grow all these people together, seeing them develop. We've built a gym that Fred's designed.
Yeah, it's really good.
You need to come and train. You've got looking super fit.
With pleasure.
Naoufal. So say très magnificent. So
thank you for your French.
Yeah, that's it. Parlez français. Seeing all that and seeing all the good we can do for people as well, and we've trying to make it a great place to work. We've been certified as such, and that sort of motivation. We're seeing the team develop right before our eyes. The guy that joined us 7 years ago now, Rashid, is the GM. He's doing really, really well. We've taken this business when he joined at 2 million dirhams last year. We're now at over $5 million, over 18 million dirhams in revenue. So we're trying to get to a point where that's scaling pretty quickly.
Yeah.
For
This
the
is
UAE, and now we're trying to get
doing just amazing from outside. Like when we meet you, both of you guys, the first time, what is impressive, it's your energy. All the time you have that energy all the time positives.
See me at 6 in the morning, right?
No, okay, but I'm sure him at 6 in the morning, it will be okay. You, it will be at 2 a.m. Yeah, maybe. But
not much overlap,
what impressed me, it's and it's hard to keep. When you're an entrepreneur, it's like this positive attitude. To be all the time really positive, and you have this energy that bring positive attitude around you, customer, everybody. Like they don't know why, but we do a lot of trade show together, and all the time I'm impressed. I say, those guys, they're selling control, but people, they of course, the awareness that you're doing, the value that you're participating, so the energy. They know I want to work with them, which is to reach this level after restarting, which is really hard because sometimes you just want to stay because you have a ton of problems. So how you do that?
I don't know. I think we probably don't think about it enough, but yeah, we enjoy. Thank you for the nice words, though, Naoufal. I'm going to come on your podcast more often.
I don't think about this word, of course, but it's just a lie. But yes,
no. Thank you very much. I mean, so Fred and I, we really enjoy what we're doing. We really enjoy working together. So that makes it positive. And we really enjoy sales and talking to people and taking them out for dinner and showing them a good time. And we don't do it so much anymore, but we used to do a lot of joint entertaining as well.
Okay.
And we were just having a fun time ourselves, and our guests were normally just having a fun time with us. And so it was sort of just, we like entertaining. We like making people feel special and having a good time. And yeah, I don't know. I don't really think about having to turn the energy on. It gives me energy, I guess. I get energy from
maybe
people.
It's natural.
Yeah. I think you get energy from if the business is doing really well, and this is on a month-by-month basis, sometimes on a week-by-week basis. The business is in a great position, you feel really motivated, and you want to continue this on. Everything's exciting, things are happening, projects are moving along, deals are coming in. That's a huge source of energy. At the same time, if you have a bad week or a bad month, you're like, I have to work. I've got to put the work in. I've got to get it back on track.
Yeah.
So, you can take energy from both sides of it. You can feed off the good times and you want to continue that good time and ride that roller coaster. Or, you got to say, right, it's time to work. Things have got to improve. It's not good enough right now. And you know what it's like in a business.
Yeah.
You have it's even on hours, days, weeks, months. Some are good, some are bad. And it will always continue that way.
Yeah, you need to continue.
And you just have to learn to take energy from both. You can't just be motivated when it's tough and then when it's good, relax and wind down, or the other way around. But you've got to be able to have the energy for both.
I have a personal question for both of you. And I invite everybody to look at your LinkedIn. When are you going to relax? Because on the weekend, last time you do the Ironman or you run I don't know how many kilometers?
Cycling.
I just read it. I was tired.
Oh yeah.
Like when you relax, because on the side you do a lot of things. So
Mm.
it was the. Can you tell me more
Oh
about
yeah.
it?
So I mean, Fred does lots of sport as well, but
I know.
but I did for so Fred's the fittest man in the UAE, which you can ask him about in a second. But so yeah, we basically thought we needed to do a fitness challenge. The cool thing about having a business is you can sponsor it. You get one sponsor at least from yourself. So we sponsored it, and we wanted to support Sparkle Foundation in Malawi.
Yeah.
My ex-girlfriend and friend Sarah Brooke runs that, and so we thought, well, that's a charity we can make a difference in. And we thought, well, I and Fred could cycle around and do something that wouldn't be that exciting. So why not turn it into a big event? We've got 136 cyclists cycle. Total individual cycles were 500 kilometers. A lot of people did their most ever.
500 kilometers.
Yeah, we raised 115,000 dirhams, so like $30,000.
We can
for
use
Sparkle.
scooter.
You could
No,
use a scooter, but you'd have to go and recharge it. Much better pedal power. So that was a really cool event, and it was just something that we want to try and do as a sort of different, one, a marketing thing, two, a CSR, giving back to charity type thing. We wanted to try and combine those two and do it a cool event for the UAE. And then Fred should tell you about. Ask him about a high rocks.
I'll get a lot of grief from my friends if they see me talking about high rocks on a podcast.
Don't see you talking about high rocks.
They'll be shocked if I'm not talking about it.
Yeah.
No, that's a kind of hobby that I've picked up over the last 18 months, and I really enjoy it. It's always good to have a hobby outside of work. I think something to be passionate about outside of work. So that's something that I've really enjoyed. I've always enjoyed keeping fit.
Can you explain what is it exactly?
So high rocks is where some people compare it. It's somewhere between CrossFit and triathlon.
Okay.
Similar to triathlon because it's the same every single time. So the format is that you do a 1 kilometer run,
Okay.
and then you do a station 8 times. The stations it might be a 1 kilometer row, 1 kilometer ski, 200 meters, farmer's walk, 50 meter sled push, 50 meter sled pull. So you do this, and it's the same every single time. So what people really like about it is that you can compare yourself over time. So you run a time, and then you get an amazing set of data online where you see how fast you did each run, how fast you did the ski erg, how long it took you to do the row. And then as you do more races over time, you can compare very easily how you're getting better. And so that's what people really seem to like about it. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's been great. I just wish the Middle East would start throwing a few more races. So that'd be great.
Yeah. We hope.
Don't ever sponsor a shirt sponsorship in High Rocks because they all take their tops off. So they're all running around topless.
Okay.
So shirt sponsors.
You need to sponsor.
So we sponsor the shorts.
Yeah,
they can't take their shorts off. Yeah, tattoos as well.
TTF.
Yeah, apart from in Doha.
In Doha, we had to wear our shirts, which
shirts,
suited me fine. But for other people,
But this is what is amazing with you guys, and that I saw in a lot of entrepreneurs, that you want to have something that impacts something, like the donation organization, the sports, sponsoring the sport. I'm sure it's not for the money or the visibility, but it just have impact. Like for example, the gym on your company. I saw you with your guys in the company. Not fake it. It's like you want them to be really happy, at works and everything, because I'm sure like a lot of people, if people are happy, they will work better, customer will be happy, and happy bring happiness. So this is like really interesting.
I mean, I know it works for me. I know that I am in a better head place every day from working out. I know that 100% the team will enjoy it. It's not for everyone. I don't think so.
Yeah, you can.
But for a significant percentage of the team, they will have a better day if they have a great place to get a workout in. I know that 100%. And the proof is in the pudding. We put this gym in place. We didn't know if anyone was going to use it. Maybe no one wants to go to the gym. But every single day, without fail, there is a significant percentage of the company that will go in and get a workout in. Maybe first thing in the morning, sometimes on their lunch break, sometimes in the evening after they finished work, or we run a night shift as well. So sometimes before they start the night shift. And it's great to see. Normally around 5 o'clock, we'll be finishing up work, still on our laptops, and I can start to hear the pumping of the music from the gym. So I know that the workout started.
And the price of the membership that you can do directly from the salary. Like it's a good. You have 85 members.
We do. Well, it probably is actually cheaper to buy them all a gym membership than to build your own gym. It probably worked out. But anyway, we built a really cool gym, which is designed by High Rocks champion Fred, no less. And that is another product line that we do have. We have sort of separate business that does gym equipment. So we do it for like
Yeah, well,
The
I
shakes
saw it.
here
Yeah. I
and,
saw it in the gym
Gymnasium warehouse. Yeah.
in the warehouse.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
okay, you're doing that. Yeah, when are you going to stop? It was a different line. Question: if I ask you today, like, if you have an advice for people who are starting his business, who have doubt in business, what will be like? Let's say the three advice that you will give to someone.
I think find a good business partner, which is quite topical. But I think find a
it's
good
really
business partner. We've seen other people start businesses who've got very talented but haven't got a good business partner. And Fred's wife Amy said to Fred that it's very lonely if you start she's got a successful business, but she said it's very lonely if you don't have someone else to discuss with that's on the same level and share that. So I think having a business partner is very important. And then should we do three each? So the other one is trying to find something that you want to do. And if you don't enjoy working with people, don't go and work with people. If you enjoy managing teams and building that, try and find that. You can find happiness in. So some people say, "Oh, why do you get excited by control room furniture?" It's not like I get excited by control room furniture per se. I like building beautiful products with fun people to build them for and having an impact on the world in terms of helping these big projects have the best control room furniture. So that's what I get interested by there, not so much the control room furniture itself, although I do think it's a very beautiful and interesting product. And the third thing, I'm now struggling.
You can give it to Fred if you want.
No, well, Fred's going to think of his own free. He's going to think of his own free. He'll think of his own free. But I think the other thing is then not thinking it's a get rich quick scheme. I think Instagram is pushing, and lots of people are pushing, and it's very confusing for people. And I'm confused by it, and I'm seeing it that you can get rich quick, or you can start a business, or you can sign up for a course. Yeah, you can sign up for a course that's going to make you really rich, or there's some easy way to make money. And occasionally, I'm sure some people get lucky on some meme coin trading or something like that. But in general, it takes a long time. We didn't take any money out of the business, CTF, for 4 years. Nothing, not even a salary. So admittedly, we luckily had our other jobs at Orion that could fund that. Fund our salaries, but it wasn't a get rich quick scheme. And I think a lot of people are seduced by these Instagram ads or different things like that, that they think that they're going to be able to get rich quick or they're going to do something. And I think the best advice I could give someone is, if you have a job, stay in that job as long as you can whilst you build your side hustle into a business, and then make the plunge. Don't rush it. It's going to take a long time. It's going to be a lot harder than you think, but it will be great in the end.
Yeah, you're totally right. There is a study that I saw, the selling point of a company is between 7 to 13 years, including startup. And there is a funny fact that I love to look at, startup in technology generally. In each country, take the top 20 startup 5 years ago and look where they are now. You will have 95% that will disappear, which is But thank you, Geoff, for that. Fred, your three advice.
Yeah, well, firstly, I very much agree with Geoff. We're very aligned on this. But no, I have some.
No, he's going to have different ones.
Yeah,
he's just saying on the business partner. Let him have that one. Yeah, that's a nice one.
The first one, I think, don't be guilty of chasing vanity metrics. And we have been guilty of that in the past with Orion.
Okay.
Chasing revenue. You've got to focus on making some solid profit, because without solid profitability, you will not be able to reinvest in the business and build a business that continues to improve over time. If you're just chasing revenue, that's when you can get into cash flow problems, and when you fail to be able to continue to improve that business on a week-by-week basis, a month-by-month basis, reinvest in your team, reinvest in your facilities, reinvest in your product. These are all essentials. So you have to be making some profit to be able to do that. And again, that alludes back to one of Geoff's points. It takes time to be patient. That's definitely one that I think is really, really important. And other than that, one more, it's just gone. What was it? I think focus is really important. So I think the next one would be, and this has been a massive point of success for CTF, and where perhaps we went a little bit astray in our system integration business. In system integration, we were trying to be masters of security, IT, audiovisual, quite disparate fields. And we lacked that focus. In CTF, we've gone extremely focused, 99% of our work from one product line. And that has been instrumental to our success. We just continue to get better at building that product. The whole team understands the market, the product, tools required, the production. And I think that is really, really important. Focus on something.
Great. I know it missed one.
I missed
So
one.
My private side will ask you for the last one, but my nice side will ask you.
You'll have to invite us back for the third.
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
We're not going to give all our secrets up.
But you know, like regarding what you say, it's I will add the third one. But starting from you say, because I remember like one of my friends at the beginning, I told him like I need to find funds because it's cool to have funds, and I need money. He said, yeah, I have one shareholder that will give you a lot of funds, whatever you want, and he will not ask you for shareholding. I told him, okay, what is his name? The customer. Go to see the customer. He will give you money without asking. And of course, giving you the trajectory of the market.
Yep.
Very good, but customer first. Yeah, totally agree.
Yes, I think that's been a good point to add to it, which would be product market fit. A lot of companies develop products that they don't sell and build, and then eventually try and sell. And I think that's why a lot of startups fail, because they don't have product market fit. And what does that mean? No one wants to buy their products at the price they're willing to or able to sell them. And so we, in CTF, we had revenue from day one. It was called IGW then, but from Orion, admittedly, buying the products that we needed.
Which is good. Yeah,
and so that was very, very helpful. And
Guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate this moment with you.
Merci.
Hope to see you. Mais de rien, avec plaisir.
Oh, de rien.
And we say aller la France in soccer and rugby.
No.
This one you cannot.
Allez along.
Is it Allez le bleu, right?
Yeah. Thank you guys.
Merci.
Really happy to have you.
Thank you.